Hi and welcome to eRacing GP. This is Global Edition 8. My name's Alex Young and next to me is Amo Hazik. We've been the long-time commentators here at eRacing GP and you are watching Global Edition 8. This is the 8th season that we have done this and we are now at round 4 of 4, our last round of Global Edition 8.
Yeah, it's been quite an exciting season, especially with the bronze and copper classes still yet to be decided. It's still all to play for between those classes.
That's a very good point. Copper class is coming up. We got bronze, silver and gold afterwards. But let's look at the standings of copper class. And you can check it out right now. Look at that. John McGregor is finally at the front now. He takes over from Chris Chu, who's leading the championship for a long time, as well as Keith Moe. And really, all three of them have a chance of winning the championship today. Even you can't really exclude Jack McGregor there in 4th position as well. Ronaldo Julie from Indonesia in 5th. Adam Kondrachis in 6th. Kenneth Wong, he hasn't done all the rounds in 7th. Mohamed Asif in 8th. Jet Li Russell in 9th. And Thomas DeVito from the States in 10th. Onto the Teams Cup standings, and you can see Stratos Motorsports has a really healthy lead. I don't think they're going to get beaten. The Academy, FSA Racing, Team Racing Line, and Z Challenger Racing from Hong Kong in 5th. Onto the Nations Cups, and Malaysia, wow, dominating right now. They've won the last 2 Nations Cups, so looks like they're going to make it 3 in a row. Philippines has won a few Nations Cups as well, but they're there in 3rd place, with Singapore there in 2nd. All right, so we're at round 4. We're driving the copper class, which is the Aquila CR1 cars, and you can see that we are in Hockenheim. So watch Hockenheim right now. Let's see if we can go down and have a look. And there they are.
And that's Keith Moe looking like he's riding a motorcycle right now. The way he was leaning into the corners. We are watching Keith right now. Look at that. Yeah. The amount of commitment that he's having here. And remember, he's actually on the cusp of winning the title too, you know?
Yeah. He got sick in last round, didn't he? He was round 4 hit. Got a little bit sick. So missed round 4. And that's kind of put him... He's still in there for the championship, though. He's still there in 3rd position. If he has a good round, wins both races, really anything can happen. We've seen that in copper class a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of put a span into the works with the amount of work that he has to do for this round, because coming into this round, he is about 20 points behind John McGregor. So 49 up for grabs for the entire weekend. He's going to need to get that pole position and race win for the first race in order to set himself up properly for that final race of the season.
That's right. Okay, you can see the cars going around. We are, of course, at Hockenheim. There you have a look at that. 16 corners, and you can see it's in a clockwise direction. You can see several arrows around the track, but the main arrow on the bottom left, that's the start-finish straight. See through all these corners. Turn 2 is a great overtaking spot. Also into turn 6, the hairpin, that's a great spot for overtaking. And we've also seen a lot of overtaking into turn 8 at Mercedes. Now the last sector of the track, from turn 11 to 15 and 16, you need a really good flow, but they're really hard to overtake there. So you need to try and be close to the cars in front before you start another lap. Let's go now for a hot lap with Ayman Hakim, who's going to take us around the track, in his own words, in a DTM car.
As you can see here, it's a hot lap mode. Time attack mode there. Starting on the 3rd sector, last 2 corners here, you want to bring as much speed as possible down into the start finish straight here. You want to place your car far right to the left here to get into your first turn here. Get it right, get all the speed. Get it wrong, you will lose all the speed here. As we can see here, get it a little bit of wrong there, losing a little bit of time. Into the 2nd corner here, you want to spot your braking a little bit early here. Clip the apex and get a little bit sliding here. That's not what you want. You want to get a good exit here, because this is where the make or break of your race here. It's a long left parabolica. This is where you want to plan your overtake, plan your move, plan your dinner, plan where you want to go after the race. But do not forget, there's a braking zone into this hairpin here. You don't want to miss it and go back to the forest behind there. It's not ideal. It's not ideal where you want to go. As we exit the hairpin there, nice and smooth on the throttle here. Into the right-hand king here, into the Mercedes arena here, Mercedes curve. We're driving a Mercedes. Hopefully you can hear a little bit of crowd cheer into the weekend here. As you can see here, 2nd gear, 3rd gear, a little bit of lift off to the right-hand corner here. You want to eliminate the understeer. As we can see here, 4th gear, 5th gear, down into the closing to the stadium section here. You want to clip inside as much as possible here. 4th gear, 3rd gear, down to 2nd here. This is where Sebastian Vettel lost his lead in the 2018 German Grand Prix here. We don't want to do that as well. As we can see here, down into the double last 2 corners here. There's a drag strip around this left hand side there if you want to know. And yeah, here we go. That's a lap of me in Hockenheimring.
Okay, well, that's a great lap there by Ayman Hakim. He's doing a bit of coaching today, so he's not actually driving. Really good driver. What did you think of that lap?
Yeah, it was actually quite comical the way he tries to say that you shouldn't miss the breaking point to go into the forest. And I would say that I kind of missed the old layout of the Hockenheimring, especially when it went straight into the forest, 320 kilometers per hour. Those were like prime days of F1 when they really maxed out the cars back then.
I have to agree. I'm very fortunate to have done that racetrack. It is amazing. You know, you just flat out through the forest, a bit of a tunnel vision. The track was actually pretty narrow back then. Maybe 12 meters. It's, you know, you look at the track right now, you can see it's how wide it is. It was very narrow back then, and those speeds, it was quite phenomenal.
Indeed.
Okay, onto the on-track action. We're qualifying is just about to start. We're looking at John McGregor there right now. He is our championship leader, so he is the guy we have to focus on. You know, he's a long-time go-karter. Him and Chris Chu actually, who second the championship. They actually kart together a lot in Singapore. So yeah, but you know, very good friends, and I think it's going to be a very good friendly rivalry today.
Indeed. And I'm not sure where Chris is from originally, but I remember reading John McGregor. He's from Aberdeen. So some Scots here as well,
Yeah,
just like
absolutely.
the Haydens. Sorry, the Millers.
That's right, and the Millers have left now. But let's focus on Chris Chu right now. Chris Chu's second in the championship. He was leading coming into this last round, but now he's down in second position as he goes across the start-finish line into turn 1.
Yep, and coming up now to that first turn that we mentioned by Ayman Hakim, you need to really sling it out to that far left-hand corner on the curbs to actually get a wider entrance to open up the corner much faster, and then you get a good exit speed. Coming out to turn 2, it's crucial here as well that you don't slip it. So here we see, that's a nice view of the map that we rarely see often, but here we go. Coming out now to the Parabolica then. This is where they opened up the DRS back when it was the DTM in Season 5. This one you're going to have to overtake naturally using the slipstream and try to outbrake the person coming up into the hairpin, Alex.
Yeah, this long, flat-out corner. You got to pick which line to go. If you can cover the inside, because in this here is that hairpin you're just talking about. Down on the brakes, pull out the anchors. Ooh, that looks really good, actually. Got that car rotated quite well, and it's got a good exit. Chris looked very good there. Now out of that corner there, and then now down this long, flat-out right-hander, easy flat through there. We often see cars going side by side through here because of getting mixed up at the hairpin into the Mercedes arena. Now this left-hander here. That looks really good, actually. Chris is looking quite good at this point.
Yeah, I like the way that the car hooked up. I think because he uses a bit of traction control to just help the car slip, but not completely turning off that the car will slide a lot. So really then, he has got this car hooked up quite nicely.
That's right. Okay, good lap there in the stadium section now. Purple in Sector 1, purple in Sector 2. That means he's fastest of all. Okay, this is still early days in qualifying with 4 minutes still to go, but it looks very neat. Looks right on the limit. Can definitely tell Chris has been practicing a lot. He's loved the new rig he's had, which, runs, as I say that, commentator's curse, runs a bit wide at the apex there. That will have cost him a little bit of time there. You can see he's a bit annoyed with himself. The penultimate corner did not quite get it right there, but not too much time. But that's fastest of all, 146.8. And let's go back to John McGregor and see how he's doing. Oh, John's going through the last corner. Oh, gets a bit too squirrely, a bit too aggressive through the penultimate corner. So both title protagonists there making mistakes in the last couple of corners, and John goes across the line.
No time.
No time. So he must have had the lap time
invalidated because he went through wide onto the drag strip. So that's where he might have actually completely invalidated the time. But he didn't dilly-dally now. He's just going to go straight away for a second lap. And hopefully for him, he might actually get it up there close to his championship rival, because can you imagine, after slogging it through the entire season, only to have that one final qualifying session that you mess it up and you completely ruin your chance of actually batting for the title, Alex.
Oh, that is true. But, you know, with these cars, you can do 2 laps in a row quite easily. And I think it's a smart thing to do 2 laps instead of just starting again, because now he's in the flow. He knows what the car feels like. He can feel the tires under him. He knows where the limits are. As he brakes now, really dives into the apex there.
Quite narrow.
Very different line from Chris Chu. Seems to have made it work, though.
John McGregor, compared to Chris Chu, Chris was a bit more like he hooked it through the corner on the apex. John's just trying to get it much shallower and then try to actually get a tighter exit. But theoretically, it should be about the same time. But I hazard to guess that Chris Chu's exit was slightly better there.
Yeah. Okay. So there we go. Looking a bit better. We're not getting the splits coming up at the moment, unfortunately. I wonder if... oh, there we go. Sector 2. Ooh, 7/10 down. That's his fastest Sector 2 so far, but he's 7/10 down on Chris Chu. So Chris Chu's lap looks like a really good lap, as Ronaldo Julie has just gone second.
Wow.
So that's a good lap. Only a 10th off the championship. Well, second in the championship, Chris Chu.
Indeed, and Reynaldo then after that win last time out, his first ever win in ERGP, he seems to have been rejuvenated and have a good vein of form here.
Yeah, so let's see if we can do that again today. Julie always looking quick, but making mistakes. Maybe that win will give him the confidence to go on a bit of a run today. But there we go. John McGregor goes over the line, and P5. That's not what he wants. He's going for another lap, but let's just go look on board with Ronaldo Julie. Let's see how he's doing. Sector 1, he's a 10th off. But let's see what he can do in Sector 2 and Sector 3. Oh, runs wide of the apex. Oh, that's going to cost him a 10th, maybe 2, because it will compromise his exit out of that corner as well. If Julie can nail Sector 2 and Sector 3, perhaps, maybe he can get his first pole position in the Copper class.
Indeed, and looking good so far. He's only about a 10th off, so personal best, I'm not sure how Chris Chu actually got faster because he's only about 1/10, about 1.2 tenths ahead. So really then, we had to wait and see in the second sector whether or not Julie has actually gained the time. He's actually fastest. He's gotten purple here through Sector 2, Alex.
Wow, well, look at that. Okay, so he still has to make up a little bit of time, but he's got plenty of corners still to do it. If he can nail this last sector, because we know Chris had a small mistake at the penultimate corner, maybe he can do it. Okay, looks good through that long hairpin. Now up to penultimate corner. Very easy to get it wrong here because you get a lot of understeer, but Julie nails it. That looks really good. Goes through the last corner. And Ammo, will this be good enough for pole?
I would say yes, but let's see if he actually has gained time on Chu. He comes across the line now, and no. Is it? Yes, it is.
No.
Oh, no, it's not. Chris Chu is actually out of our sight. He's gotten faster as well by about 0.02 of a second.
Wow, how close is that? So very at the death there, both of them going a little bit quicker, but Chris Chu takes pole position by the slightest of margins over Ronaldo Julie there. Keith Moe had a good recovery there to get up to P3. He's third in the championship. Let's not forget about him. Adam Quadrilochus with another good lap time there to P4. Ozair, new driver in P5. Amir Pullman in 6. Nasser Ashraf in 7. John McGregor all the way down in P8 with his son Jack McGregor down in P9. Both McGregors not having a good qualifying session. And Al Gomez from America rounds up the top 10.
Oh, that's not good. That is not good for the McGregors here to be well behind their main championship rival.
Okay, there. Let's have a look there. Chris Chu there getting ready. Couple minutes, well, not a couple minutes, 45 seconds to go. They'll be selecting the tires, making sure they get the correct fuel. Fuel is normal for the Copper class. Tire wear is ×2, so they do have to watch out a little bit for tire wear, although 15-minute races should be okay.
Yeah, it should be cakewalk for these guys, especially the fact that the tires will just wear up, but they won't fall off the cliff completely compared to ×4, and especially if they are in Formula cars. So then, all to play for in the championship between John McGregor, Chris Chu, and Keith Moe. And then Chris Chu has actually gained 5 crucial points to actually get the championship standings now back up to just 7 coming into the final round, the final 2 races of the season here.
Yep, we are at Hockenheim. My name's Alex Jung. I'm here with Amo Azik, and Des will be joining us later.
Right then, red lights on the gantry. We wait until they go out, and when they go out, the final round of Copper class will get underway just about now. And it looks as though Reynaldo Julie has actually got a bit of a jump on Chris Chu. Chris Chu then will try to defend coming to turn 1, and he doesn't. He doesn't actually. Chris Chu has actually... No, he does. Oh, they have the exact same car, so confused there for a second. But Reynaldo Julie then with a good second phase of the start to get right to the back of Chris Chu. But it's Chris Chu who holds on coming through turn 1 as they now head to turn 2 here. Oh, chops across. They don't want to get involved here, especially Chu. He might lose the championship if he gets involved here. But it looks as though it's a clean start for the rest of the field.
Oh, and then Ronaldo Julie goes wide on the exit there. Yeah, very wise of Chris to give him a bit of space at turn 2. But they're coming together again, side by side. Julie on the outside for this left-hander, but he will be on the inside for the next right-hander.
Yeah, Ronaldo then on the inside, coming up to the hairpin here. Does he make it? Oh, there's Keith Moe going onto the inside. Oh, they've actually touched. And Reynaldo Julie's been spun around. Keith will take the lead, but there will definitely be some protest there after that. That was such an unfair move from Keith. He could have actually backed it off there, unless, of course, he actually just outbraked himself and smacked to the side of Reynaldo Julie. But whatever it is, that has opened up the rest of the field to come by. And then, Oh, there we go. Julie's hit the back of Ahmed Poman, and more chaos coming out to the Mercedes arena.
Okay, Julie needs to calm down now. It's not over yet. There's still the first lap of the race. He has some pace to recover. He just needs to make sure it doesn't go off as Poman goes wide.
And through all of that, Jose Al-Qadri, the driver who made his debut last time out in Portimao, he's up to second. Can you believe that if he actually gets a win here? So here's Jose, a privateer for now, but he'll definitely be spotted by some teams after this performance, for now at least.
Yeah, really, really good first lap. Keith Moe, though, then P1. He is third in the championship. He's not out of this championship yet, so he's done exactly what he needed. Super aggressive, though, at the hairpin turn 6. Do you think that was okay?
No, I don't think he will definitely be getting off the hook for that one, because that was a late braking maneuver that he tried to actually get into the inside, hit the back of Julie, and just caused Julie to have a hot spin. So really then, Keith Moe, he's driving on borrowed time right now, if we could say it, if we could say so.
Yeah, okay. So Moe there, he is leading the race now. So possibly having a penalty. I think he needs to try and get a nice gap and win this race, because if he does get a 5-second or a 10-second penalty, he needs to try and make sure he has a big gap to try and get the best position he can.
Jose Al-Qadri then, Al-Qadri in second place, and with a brilliant start as well. He was in 5th place, so he made it through after all that scuffle up the hairpin to be up to second right now. But he's got a championship protagonist in 3rd, with fellow drivers who are eager to get their first podium, and of course Reynaldo Julie to consolidate his previous Portimao result as they come to the hairpin now. Chris Chu then being attacked left, right and centre.
Wow, okay, so Chris Chu there down to 4th, Reynaldo Julie up to P3. You can tell that Chris is driving with the championship on his mind. He just doesn't want to stay out of trouble right now.
Oh! Well, there we go. Commentators goes at his finest, Alex. He got whacked there by Ahmed Poman, but luckily he survived, only just losing one position now to Jack McGregor. And oh, Jack cuts across him. This is not looking well for Chris Hu here. He is now with his championship rival, John McGregor, and they're both now having good final rounds here.
Yeah, he needs to calm down right now, because Keith Moe's just running away the front. Pullman, really, really clumsy mistake there to tap out the championship leader. Yeah, so that's not good indeed.
Ooh. And Ali Gomez, there you go. He goes onto the inside of Chris Chu and takes a position away from him. Or does he? They're going to go side by side through the final sector here. It's been a bit messy so far. We did anticipate that if it's actually quite messy for the final few races of the season, we're going to have extra stringent stewarding to compensate for that. Shall we say, Alex?
Absolutely. So Chris Chu there, he's down. He's down in 7th position, but he has to remember his title rival, John McGregor, is 2 positions behind him, so not all is lost. However, it's looking really good for Keith Moe. Wow, the young Malaysian, only 9 years old, running away at the front. And assuming he doesn't get any penalties, this is looking very good for him. Although Reynaldo Julie's catching up. Look at that.
Immediate revenge, I would say that Julie will be on his mind, because he really got whacked while coming to the hairpin there. I think Keith will definitely raise his hand up and apologize for that, because he did outbrake himself into that crucial hairpin spot right now, about a second ahead. So Keith then has to keep his eyes peeled at front and from behind in case Julie might retaliate.
Okay, there's Keith Moe going through. Have to go back down to Jack McGregor. There, Jack McGregor in the yellow car, followed closely by Adam Kondraloches. So Kondraloches obviously trying to make his way up as well. So going through these next few corners, and there is Jack McGregor in the yellow car, holding off P4. This is great for him. He is he's 4th in the championship. That's not so bad for him actually. This will help because he's in front of the guys in 1 and 2, but of course not Keith Moe. Yeah,
and Keith Moe still has that dangling guillotine above his head with a 5-second penalty potentially, because that was quite a clumsy error on his part. So he wouldn't want to actually scupper his championship chances by doing more of that in the second race. So keep an eye out for the stewarding after this when we announce the championship results. But still, it's only about a second ahead. And with 10 minutes left to go here, it might still be all change. Coming out to the final corner now, Jack McGregor then under pressure from Kondraloches. He goes a bit wide, and it seems as though a lot of drivers like to take the final 2 corners wide there using the drag strip.
Yeah. Okay, let's look further bit back. We got Andre. He's there. Andre there in what's that? In 6th position, and you got Chris Chu coming down the back of him. So that's the next driver that Chris Chu will have to overtake.
And he got a slow penalty there for a second. And Adri didn't even have a good qualifying session just now. He failed to qualify. So really then, he's actually made his way up through the field quite nicely as well, up to P6. And it's shown again that he has the capability to race against these guys. When normally he does time trials during the
Yeah.
racing by himself, to be honest.
Yeah, only 6 years old. Adri, yeah, it's pretty special to see him up there. Good job by him. Yeah, definitely a talent for the future.
Indeed, and he's under pressure now for Chris Chu. Looks as though he has actually made the door quite open. Oh, he actually closed there, a bit like Michael Schumacher against Jacques Villeneuve in '97 at Jerez. But luckily for both of them, one of them didn't go into the gravel trap that time. So Adrian, slight collision with Chris Chu, but I think that's one hit that Chris Chu's willing to take.
Yeah, Chris Chu up to 6th now. So that's a good... Oh, and Adri sails it down the inside. He's going to run wide. I should allow Chris Chu to come back at him, and he does. Chris was very smart there, just to let him just go right by and got him back on the undercut.
Applauding Chris Chu for that one. And I was about to say, it was great to see Adri fight back, but unfortunately he just overcooked it. Now they're back up to the front. About 0.5 of a second between Keith Moe and Renato Juli, and Keith is under severe pressure. Look at that, he just went a bit squirrely coming out of the Sachs curve where Vettel went off in 2018. Oh, Juli nearly ran to the back of him. Well, if that was pressure personified, that was Keith Moe actually under real severe pressure. But that time around also Renato Juli also made a few mistakes, and look at that, he went into the gravel trap.
Yeah. Renato Juli doing what he always does, which mid-race makes a couple mistakes. And it's just allowed Keith Moe a little bit of breathing space at the moment.
Indeed. But all the while then, we're watching these two. The guy in 3rd place, Jose Al-Qadri, is now only 2.5 seconds behind. If anything were to happen to the front two, he is on his way to actually get his first win of the season in only his 2nd ever round in this championship. So really then, that's quite a nice start for him.
Yeah, great start by Jose. Back at the front, Renato Juli closing in again. He's got some really good pace, hasn't he, Juli?
He does, but it's just that it's unfortunate he has not been able to get up to the back of Keith Moe. And we saw just now how he overcooked it coming to the final corner. Plus, he hits the back of Keith that time. He made a mistake coming into the final corner as well, into the gravel trap. So really then, he's going to have to calm himself if he wants to get his 2nd win in a row here. And Keith, likewise, he knows he's going to get a penalty. So really then, he should just really back it off. He shouldn't really fight him too hard.
Yeah, because then he's going to go back into the crowd, isn't he? The crowd of drivers, and he'll finish further back. As they go side by side, Juli gets bundled out of the way. Moe still in front.
I think I would hazard to guess that Juli may not know that it was Keith that hit the back of him. He might have thought it was just some random blue cut that hit him. But either way, Juli racing as if that Keith doesn't have a penalty looming over him. As we now head into the final 6.5 minutes here, we already have passed the halfway point in this first race at the Hockenheim ring in the copper class, and looks as though it's going to go all the way to the end here. It's going to be a grandstand finish, just like the grandstands in Hockenheim here.
Yeah, so Moe defending everywhere at the moment. He's even defending a little bit into this penultimate corner. That's just going to slow him down. It's going to allow the others to catch him up. So, not sure that's the right strategy right now. But anyway, he hangs on to the lead for now.
Hangs on to the lead, but it's not the fastest lap of the race. This is what Keith wants, because he wants that extra 2 points to at least get him up to the back of Chris Chu and John McGregor. He might be ruining the fact that it was something out of his control, his own health, that actually caused him to miss that previous run. So now he's on the back foot here and under severe pressure from Juli. And we saw just that time, out of shot, Juli was only 2 tenths behind and nearly got to the back of him. I think he might have actually compromised his exit, and now Keith has gotten a bit more breathing space here coming through the Parabolica.
That's right, just got a little bit too slow, a little too close to the apex. He's carrying lots of speed into the apex, but when the car in front slowing it down to try and make sure he gets better exits, that can mess you up a bit. Juli there looking at the outside, braking super late. Looking at the switchback, not going to get it this time.
Oof. Well, apart from the switchback, there we go. A slow penalty for Keith Moe for running wide there. And that's going to really compromise him if he actually got multiple warnings, which increase over time. So if it's first time 0.5, then it's 1. And it would just increase by every single time as Juli tries to actually dive one around the outside. And again, Keith Moe holds on to the inside, but he might have actually gone a bit wide there that time. A bit narrow on the exit. And it looks as though Juli then might just get him through the final sector here.
Yeah, Juli looking to the outside now. Saying, come on, give me the space. Whoa, it's going to look all the way around the outside. Nice move by Juli.
Oh, still not done yet, though. They're still side-by-side coming out to the Sachs curve. You wouldn't want to put 2 cars here. And Keith backs out of it quite nicely and tries to cut back on Juli, but it's Juli's lead now. And Keith then looking as though he is losing sight of the championship here. He has a potential penalty looming, and the cars behind him are not even more than 5 seconds behind. This is going to be disastrous for the young Malaysian.
That's right. Now let's go back and look at the guys in 3rd position. And you can see them all in the shot right now. It shows how close it is. Ozaya then 3rd position. Let's see how Chris Chu is doing. Championship leader. trying to make his way back up. Still in P6, and he's got Adam Kondralochis in his sights.
And he could only gain 3 points from this. John McGregor's in 9th. And if he finishes any further higher than P6, the championship gap will only be down to just 2 points. So it's going to go up to the final race of the season here. And Adri is becoming the guy, sorry, not Adri, that's Adam Kondralochis, becoming the guy that's holding the key to him getting more points on John McGregor.
Yeah, sorry, excuse me there. Chris Chu's second in the championship, but the guy actually still leading the championship is John McGregor. Wow. John's not having a great race, didn't qualify so well, didn't have a great first lap, and now he's just struggling to get further into the points.
And he's trying to get past Ali Gomez or Ale Gomez as Keith Moe gets another slowdown penalty. That's not going to do his race up any good as McGregor gets a crucial position on Ali Gomez. He's up to P8, and that will increase the gap by just 1 point between himself and Chris Chu. So that's, I think, about by mental arithmetics, 3 points coming to the final race of the season.
Wow, that's if they stay where there is. Just under 3 minutes to go. Things can still change.
Indeed, and anything can still change in ERGP. They change in the blink of an eye. A flash will just change the whole complexion of the race. As now up in front with 2.5 minutes left to go. Then Reynaldo Julie looking quite comfortable here. It looks as though he has managed his race pace quite well. He has improved. That win probably just took a lot of monkeys off his back.
Absolutely, and he's calmed down as well. He wasn't making the same mistakes he was in the middle of the race, and he's leading that race right now. Although Keith Moe's not going away, right? Keith Moe is still stalking him.
Indeed, by 5/10, but it looks as though Keith's not making any inroads towards him, as this is the guy that we need to watch out for. Second in the championship, Chris Chu, and he's made his way up to 5th place in front of Kondralochis. So now the gap is only just 1 point coming to the final race of the season. So that is all to play for, Alex.
Wow, so Chris Chu. And where will Keith Moe, assuming Keith finishes second, Keith will also close down that gap quite a bit, won't he?
Yeah, but you have to remember, the penalty might be on him, so he might get that 5-second penalty for that rather clumsy challenge on Reynaldo Julie. Maybe rescind it if Julie doesn't have to fight back, because if he wins the race and Keith Moe finishes second, there's no point for him to give the penalty anyway because he's got back to position. Yeah,
well, let's leave it to the stewards. I don't think the stewards look at things like that. They'll just be like, okay, the penalty was a bad one, so this is what's going to happen.
Let's see. Protest will fly, but that will be for formalities afterwards, as Jack McGregor then gets a slow penalty for track limits abuse. But further behind, look at that. Adri's actually challenging Adam Kondralochis, and he gets him. So Kondralochis then loses another position to his fellow Canopy driver, Adri. So Adri drives for the Stratos team. But still, what a drive from Adri here after not qualifying to start from all the way at the back of the grid to now up to the middle of the top 10. This is an amazing drive. That's an amazing drive from the 6-year-old.
Yeah, really, really good drive up to P2. Wow. Okay, 48 seconds to go. This will be this lap and one more lap before the end of the race. And Reynaldo Julie is getting really close to Keith Moe now.
Indeed, and Keith Moe then, I don't know. I don't think he can actually make it in this final lap because he's still about 0.5 of a second. And he goes to the gravel trap as well. Goes a bit wide there. That's not going to help his cause. And the gap's now up to the second. So I think he might just have to throw in the towel for the race win on this one. He knows for a fact that the full picture here, he still has a slight chance of taking the title in the final race. But he's going to have to do it hell for leather here if he used to stand a chance of taking the title away from either John McGregor or Chris Chu.
Okay, let's talk about Jack McGregor then. Jack McGregor, who's 4th in the championship and the son of John. He's there in P4, and he's got Chris Chu now closing down on him.
Now
he'll be trying to keep Chris behind him.
That'll be interesting. This is like both not only team tactics but also familial tactics, because the son will try to help the father win the championship here, so that'll be interesting. That's the first time. It's called family tactics, isn't it, Alex?
Yeah, it is indeed. But I think the gap's too big. I think these positions are settled. I think Jack's going to hold off Chris. And at the moment, Chris Chu in 5th. And John McGregor still down there in 8th position. So that's going to be tough for him.
Yeah, I think John McGregor is just going to settle for a good first race of this round, just to actually settle himself in for the second, because he'll know for a fact that he'll start further up from the other championship guys. So that's crucial for him.
Yeah. Okay, so there's John just in the green car. Jack McGregor there now all over the back of Ozer. Let's see if Ozer can hold on for P3.
And his first podium of the championship, actually. That would be something for him to live by here. We thought that he was not going to start the race just now because he had technical problems with his rig, but he has managed to get that sussed out, and now he's trying to defend a podium here from Jack McGregor and Chris Chu. But meanwhile, up in front, Renato Julie then, where did he come from? From the first 7 seasons of the Global Edition, he could barely get points in. Now, in this Global Edition 8, he's got 2 wins in a row as he comes up to the final corner now. Renato Julie for the Faisal Faf eRacing Academy takes race 1 for the final round of the season here at the Hockenheim in Copper class. What a win for Renato Julie. Second, Keith Mo, penning a penalty. Third, Ozai Al-Qadri, first ever podium for him in ERGP. Fourth, Jack McGregor. And fifth, crucially then, in front of John McGregor, Chris Chu. So the title then will go into the final round of the season with just 1 point to play for here, Alex.
Wow, so getting that is interesting there. 1 point play for. Can you put your math skills to test and see where, assuming, let's say Keith Mo does finish second, where does that put him in the championship?
Oh, God. Let me try to put that into this Excel sheet I have right now.
Wow, okay, so Keith Mo, if he does finish second, he'll be 82 points. That's 5 points off the championship lead.
5 points to play for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Plus, 2 point. How many points is there? 2 points in it between the top two in the championship. So it is absolutely close right now. As we see the final results from this first race of the Copper class for round 4, it is Renato Julie, Keith Mo, and Jose Al-Qadri at your podium. Dearie me, what an absolutely tense race, and we're still not over yet. We still have the formalities of studing to go by, but this will be provisional results, Alex.
Yeah, provisional results right now. There's Keith Mo. Sorry, no, Chris Chu. We're not going to talk to him just yet because I think, look at him. He's getting a quick drink. Well, he's getting some sweat there.
Yeah.
He's got to get ready for race 2. Reverse grid for race 2. Top 15 reverse. That means the entire grid reverse. Whew, that's going to be a high-pressure situation for the championship rivals.
Yeah.
Any one of these 3 can win it at the moment.
Yeah, and the crucial point is John McGregor is actually ahead of his 2 other championship rivals. So if he actually gets a good start and gets away at the front, that is going to be championship over then. But we cannot count on chickens yet. We still have not seen what will happen until then.
Yeah, so we will try and see what's happening. Just waiting for the server to reassure itself and be happy that everything's happening, and then we will come back to the grid for race 2. Okay, so I know the sound's not coming through for the cars right now, so we'll try and fix that in the break between copper and bronze. And then hopefully race 2 is coming up. There we are. The cars are lining up on the grid. As you can see them magically teleport from the pit lane onto the grid. Don't need a warm-up lap even.
Right. Pace yourselves, guys. This is going to be one heck of a championship fight here. And according to our Excel sheets, this is going to be 5 points in it between Keith Mo, John McGregor, and Chris Chu as we head now to the final race of the season. Lights on the gantry then. And when they go out, we're going to go away for the last time in Copper Edition. Copper class for Global Edition 8. And we're underway. And it's Ahmed Bowman who's on pole with Clay Vernal in second place, and it looks as though a good start there from Pomin. He takes the lead coming into turn 1. But what's going to happen between the championship rivals? We're looking at Chris Chu, and Chris Chu then has actually defended off Keith Mo and the rest of the field there. But John McGregor has had a good start. He's gained 2 positions up at the front as we come up now to turn 2. So what's going to happen here? Is Chris Chu going to get it up to the back of John McGregor? It looks as though McGregor's actually lost a couple of positions, and now the 2 championship rivals are close to each other here, Alex. This is not going to be good for John McGregor, who looked like he was going to be champion-elect coming into this round. Up to the happy now. Let's hope that we don't have any argy-bargy compared to that first race. Nasser Ashraf trying to overtake Clay Vernal as Ahmed Pomin's up in the lead. Oh! McGregor's actually hit someone there. It looks like Ali Gomez. So Ali Gomez has been spun around, and Keith Mo's also involved in that. And that's John McGregor right at the back of the field, Alex.
Wow, so that looks like his championship might be over. Oh, wow, all the way to the back of the grid, the field. Championship leader there on the last race of the season. Where's Chris Chu then? Chris Chu is only 2 places ahead of him in P11.
And he has actually whacked the side of Jack McGregor there, so that's a bit of, I guess, recompense for what happened in the first race by being blocked there. But It's not going well here for Chris Chu, but you know what's going well for someone else? It's Keith Moe. He's actually in front of both of them. If he actually gets a better position now, up to the top 5, that might actually complicate things in the championship.
Yeah, Keith Moe there. Good to see. Well, that's perfect for him. Perfect first lap. The 2 guys he's fighting are now behind him. And P8's still got a lot to do, though. He's got to try and get into the top 3 and get enough points to try and overtake the championship's rivals.
Indeed, and that's the start that he could have more than wished for, actually, because after that first lap incident with Reynaldo Julie and finishing second, he will be hoping that Reynaldo will not be protesting against him as we now come up to turn 1 in lap 2. Keith Moe around the outside there of Jose Al-Qadri, and Jose holds on to P7 for now, but Keith here looking really hungry for a championship fight, and he is going to fight hell for leather here to get that first championship of his young career. Goes around the outside, and that's a brave move there to get up to P7. Brilliant, smart move, but he's going to have to defend on the Parabolica, Alex.
Yeah. Okay, coming down the back straight, Keith Moe still defending.
Defending now from Jose Al-Qadri. Up to the hairpin. Will Jose try to dive one on the inside here? Keith actually defending quite hard. Jose might hit him, and they have touched. Jose might actually push him, shove him out of the way, NASCAR style, and he's gonna have to. No, he's bent. Keith has spun it around, and he's hit Chris Chu on the way out as well. Now that will complicate the championship matters even more. He's gonna have to defend from John McGregor here. The 2 championship rivals are right at the back. In fact, make that 3 because Chris Chu's just inside the top 10. What an absolutely shambolic start for the 3 championship contenders, Alex.
Wow, I've never seen the championship change so quickly amongst 3 potential rivals in a lap, basically, 2 laps. So let's see if Keith is down all the way at the bottom. He's behind John McGregor, the championship leader. Let's see if he can keep calm. This is going to be a big test for him, the 9-year-old. Not quite used to these sort of emotions, I think. Fighting for his first championship at ERGP. But if he can just keep it calm, there's still enough time to try and make some progress. And anything can happen.
Who's that? Who's that spinning? That's Reynaldo Julie. Oh, that's Julie. I thought that was Chris Chu for a second because that looked like the exact same car. But yeah, he's going to have to calm himself now. And look at that. He's driving with his knuckles wrapped around there around the wheel. He goes on the inside. John McGregor. He gets on to P11. This is going to be messy here. And if they could catch up to the rest of the field, that might complicate matters.
Okay, nicely done.
Up now to turn 1. And it looks as though Chris Chu, among the championship contenders, is looking favorable here. He might only get just 2 points for finishing in P9, but those 2 points might be crucial here if we go on count back. As up in front, Ahmed Pomin. Didn't expect Poman. Poman. Now, I think it's pronounced Pomin because
I'm going to still pronounce it Polman. It's
Poman.
better.
Poman.
Well, he's leading the race anyway.
Yes, and Ahmed leading the way here. That will be his first win of the ERGP season as well, and he'll have plenty of friends watching out from other communities, especially the likes of the Adrenaline Impact guys. They are definitely going to be behind him here as he comes to the Mercedes-Benz Arena. He's looking good. He's 2.3 seconds ahead of Nasr Ashraf Nasaruddin, and for the FSA Racing guy, that will be his first best finish of the season as well.
Okay, so Polman in second position. Nasr Ashraf there in second. Adri there in third position. Chris Coe in fourth. And Uze up to fifth, with Jack McGregor in the yellow car there in sixth position. Where are the championship rivals? And the first of the championship rivals is actually Chris Chu right now. And there he is in P9.
And it could only complicate matters here if he actually were to get up one more position. He tries to attack Ali Gomez, one of the guys that was involved in that first lap incident. Oh, he locks up. He actually locks up coming into the Sanks curve. And Chris Chu dives one on the inside, ducks onto the grass, gets one over Clay Vernal. And now that has actually invited Keith Moe and Adam Cordelachis into the fight as well. This is going to get really messy. And Vernal goes even wider there. So Chris Chu then, one more point to add to his tally. That's 3 points on the board, and with countback being counted here, I think he might just be 1 point ahead of John McGregor by season's end, but it's still not over yet. The race is still having 9 minutes to complete here.
Wow, he's going to be over the moon if he can pull this off. Still looking quite good right there. That's Chris Chu there in P8. Currently, with live points, our championship leader. I want to... okay, he survives for now.
Someone spun there just now. That was Adri. Adri has actually dropped it coming into turn 2. So, in fact, he's dropped out completely. So, unfortunately for him, that will be not a great way to end the season after such a heroic drive to be up to P3 at one point.
There's John McGregor, who was a championship leader coming into this race. there in P10. Keith Moe, though, has got ahead of him. Oh, and he's not far from Chris Chu at the moment.
Yeah, indeed. Now, he will have to get in front of Chris Chu, but he will need to gain 5 points on Chris Chu if he was to stand any chance of overhauling that deficit that he had coming into the final race of the season. And mercifully for him, I think the penalty is off for now as he goes onto the inside of Chris Chu. Oh, that's a brave move, and that will complicate Chris's exit. All the while then, Ali Gomez goes wide, and he gains 2 for 1.
That was a great move by Keith Moe. I mean, you have to be brave, you have to be daring, and he pulled it off. He didn't hit anyone. That was completely legal, and he made 2 places in one go. And Chris Chu now struggling 2 places behind him.
And Ali Gomez then might be the cork in the bottle here for the rest of the championship contenders, because Keith Moe has actually made his way up to P6, and that's Chris Chu fighting with Ando Cortolochis. He's going to get the inside line coming through the final corner, but this is not the race that he wanted. He would love to have been further up in front. He dives into Ando Cortolochis coming to the final corner. Take that, he would say, up to P8. And John McGregor then is coming to play here. He's in P10, so he'll get 1 point, while Chris Chu gets 3. And Keith Moe, I think, will get about 8, if I'm mistaken.
That's enough. That's almost enough, isn't it?
Oh, it would be on tiebreaker though. It will be the first time ever that we have 3 drivers in the championship almost equal on points at the end of the season. That is an amazing storyline.
Yeah, I know we should focus on the leaders as well, but we have to look at the guys fighting for the championship right now. And Chris Chu going around the outside of Chris Coe. Great move. And that's the sort of move you need to pull off if you want to take this championship. And Chris Chu now back up to 7th.
Yeah, indeed. And had to take a bit of a breather there because we still have 7 minutes left to go here, and the great crescendo of the entire season comes to this. And for now, at least, it looks as good as... Oh, someone hits the back there. That was actually someone running into the back of Jack McGregor. That's Renaud Julie, and Julie gets 3 positions in one go. He used someone as a break and gain position. That might be a penalty there, Alex.
Yeah, definitely a penalty there. Julie getting frustrated, I think, and making those mistakes again that he tends to make always in the middle part of the race. But yeah, Chris Chu there missing the apex as well, just ahead of Julie. He needs to try and get Gomez, I think, and to just be comfortable. He needs to try and get away from the battle behind him, because if he gets mixed up in that battle again, anything can happen.
Indeed, and it looks as though the race has settled a bit into a smoother rhythm compared to what happened in the first couple of parts. Now we're past the halfway point. We're into the final quarter of the race after this, so if any argy-bargy fireworks was to happen, it's going to happen in the final 5 minutes. So for now, at least, the race has settled just slightly, but it's probably just a calm before the storm.
Okay, so Uzair there in P3. Like you said, just over 5 minutes to go. The yellow car there's Jack McGregor, and the blue car just behind him is Keith Moe. If Keith could overtake these cars and get up to 3rd, that would be perfect for him.
Indeed, that will definitely be perfect for him. But he's got a problem in the form of Jack McGregor right in front, and Jack will know full well that his dad hasn't had the best of rounds here. He might just want to hold off a chief championship rival just to do his dad some favors.
I think unfortunately, his dad, John McGregor, is just being a bit too slow today. He was the championship leader, but he's just not been quick enough, I feel. And someone spins!
That's Chu! That's Chris Chu! Chris Chu has had a big half spin, and now that ball is in Keith Moe's court now. That was not what he wanted, and Chris Chu then, with a sigh of disbelief, he just can't believe it. He's just dropped it, but all is not lost yet. He still has 5 minutes to regain the gap back up to John McGregor, but that was not what he wanted coming into the into the closing stages of this race, Alex.
Wow, another turn in the championship. Wow, Chris Chu was looking really good half a lap ago, and now he looks out of it already. Does he have enough time to try and claw back up?
I think we might need we might need more than a breather after this. We might just need a nap, because this is just so exciting. It's absolutely amazing how the tail has turned so many times here. It's become a knot in how this championship has played out. But the ball is definitely in Keith Moe's court, and with him, if he can overtake Jose Al-Qadri, that will be the championship in his favor provisionally.
Ooh, Jose there going down the inside of Jack McGregor didn't work. But that's allowed Keith Moe to get really close on him. So right now, if you look at the live points, Keith Moe is leading the championship. And he will win this championship. Of course, we need to see how the penalties play out after this race. But he was last. He was plumb last about 5 minutes ago. And he's managed to recover up to P5.
Oh, boy. How a great recovery it is, and for a 9-year-old to be in this high pressure situation of a championship fight, especially if it's a three-way fight at the top, he has actually handled it quite well here, while the others have fallen by the wayside slightly.
Okay, so I've just got confirmations from our mathematicians that John McGregor is still leading the championship by 1 point from Keith. So Keith does need to get up to P4 or P3 to win this championship.
Yep. In fact, if he actually gets in front of Jose, he gets 2 extra points because it's 8 and 6. So 4th place right now is gonna be the championship for him. So if he gets up there, that will be curtains for the rest of the other drivers. Oh, that's Keith. Actually, they have sensing an opportunity because Jose is on the inside. Jack McGregor runs a bit wide, and now he's gonna have to overtake Jack here for P4. And if he actually plays it smart and lets the other two whack each other out, that will actually be 3 points for him. But he will hope that the other guys, when they whack each other out, don't drop that many positions.
Okay, so
Jose runs wide. Jose runs a bit wide, and that's it. That's P4, and that will be the championship for Keith Moe.
Okay, obviously we won't get too excited because we still have to worry about race 1 and what those penalties will play out to. But yes, at the moment, this should be good enough. John McGregor in P9 though. John McGregor, if he can make a position, look at that. He's all over the back of Adam Kondralochis. If he can take Adam Kondralochis, maybe he plays himself back into the championship fight.
But the problem is he's got Chris Chu right behind him. So if these two were to whack each other out, that's it. That's the end of the championship too.
Yeah. I think if you're Chris Chu, you're probably saying, John, please take out Adam. Both of you get out of my way.
And there's John, looking rather tense behind the wheel there, doesn't he? He just doesn't look that calm compared to previous rounds.
No, he does not indeed. Looks tense, big time tense. Back at the front though, Keith Moe up to P3, and that's definitely good enough for the championship.
Oh wow, that is actually gutsy driving from Keith. But he played it quite smart actually. He held on to it as Jose goes onto the inside of Jack McGregor. Really late dive, but I think he didn't make that move stick. Yep, he didn't. Jack McGregor now heads around the outside as we come into the Parabolica. This will play into Keith Moe's hands even further because he can gap himself now to this battle.
Yeah, that's right. It's not enough time to catch P2, but P3 would be nice and secure. Now it all depends on what happens with the guys behind him. And that's what happens right now. John McGregor wasn't able to get past Adam Kondralochis and has lost a bit of ground. And we can actually see Chris Chu now attacking John.
Oh, this is not looking good for them. It's like the floor has been taken away from both of their feet here and has been given to Keith Moe. This is not the championship ending that they would have wanted. That has absolutely gone up in smoke because of the amount of accidents they had in just race 2 alone.
Yeah. Whew. Oh, someone's just gone off. Ronaldo Julius just gone off.
Oh, not again.
Wow, that helps. That helps both McGregor and Chu. So that puts John McGregor back into the championship lead. No,
that's not a bit.
If he can get fast as that. Oh, Chris Chu goes through though.
Oh, that's a brave move. He just shoved John McGregor out wide slightly, and in front of them it was Kondralochis who actually went into the gravel trap. So I think John might have been distracted by that for a second and didn't see that Chris Chu went into the inside of him. Now the permutations have actually changed again.
So it has to be Keith Moe, I think, that's leading the championship right now. We just have to look at the guys leading the race. That's Amir Poman doing a great job there with Nasser Ashraf there in second position. But there in third position there is Keith Moe. We'll try and get Amir Poman back in a second. But let's look at this championship battle right now. Keith Moe in P3. That looks good for him. Where's Chris Chu? Chris Chu's disappeared.
Oh, he's out! He is actually out of the race. One contact too many, and that's it. That's the end of Chris Chu's championship fight. But it was still on between him and John McGregor, between John McGregor and Keith Moe.
John McGregor's P8, unbelievably. But you got to say, it's going to go to Keith Moe at the moment. Keith Moe, I think, is going to win his first Copper Class championship.
And that's 3 points to 10, because 10 for third place and 3 for 8th. So that's a 7-point swing in favor of Keith. And he was coming to this last round 5 points behind.
Yep. And none of them will get fastest lap. That goes to Amir Poman, who's leading the championship.
Leading the race.
Leading the race. Let's go back to him because he's done a great job at the very front.
Yep, we're going to serenade the champion-elect after this because we still have provisionally some other penalties to get rid of. As Amir actually flashing his lights there. So I think he knows that we're watching him, because he comes out of the Sachs curve here for the final time into the final sector here. And, What a surprise! Starting from the front of the grid after a poor race one, he's going to get his first ever win in eRGP. Flashing the lights here. There we go. That's what you need to do. Comes across the line now, and he takes his first win in eRGP. But we had to go back to the championship battle here between Keith Moe and John McGregor. And it looks as though he has gapped Jack here.
Wow, so Keith Moe is going to come over P3, and assuming the penalties don't affect him too badly from race 1, this looks like it could be our championship winner.
Yep, across the line then, provisionally, Keith Moe is the head of the championship and he finishes third here. Great recovery. He has his hands up in gesticulation. He is absolutely over the moon, and we might just get a word with him here.
Absolutely. There we go. John McGregor there comes over the line. P7. P7, is that enough to take the championship back?
2 points. So 2 points difference between that. So we had to wait until that first race penalties are sorted out. But for now, let's hear Keith.
All right, Keith. So just quick chat with you. Good going. Can you hear us? I don't think he can hear us, but he's probably a little bit dumbstruck, I think. I know his father, Rick, would be just in the corner helping him out. But good job there by Keith. Third in the race. We think at the moment, provisionally, our championship winner.
Yep. And one of the youngest ever too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then, we run through the race 2 results after a absolutely chaotic and shambolic race. Ahmed Pomin is first, second is Nasrud Nasruddin, and third is Keith Moe. That's your podium. Followed by Jack McGregor, Ali Gomez, Admiral Contralorches, John McGregor, Reynaldo Julie, Clay Vernal, and Chris Coe. That's your top 10.
And of course, Chris Shew at the bottom there had the incidents, so he did not get any points there. That's going to be tough for him. Let's see if Keith's still here. Keith, can you hear us? Nah, he hasn't got his headset in. He's just happy as a lamb. All right. But anyway, we've got to go see what happens to the protest. That's part and parcel of racing. We always have to make sure that everything was done fairly. Wow, exciting copper class, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, that's copper done. We got bronze and then silver and gold combined coming up after this. We'll be right back.